Sit down. Leave that alone, Rover.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, 6-time world champ, 2-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. As always, man, we're ready to do this thing, man. We've been off for a minute, and news has been breaking like crazy since we've been gone. Karrion Kross is back. Dexter Loomis is back. I heard MJF is. I'm just playing. John Laurinaitis is out. Man, I mean, we got a lot to talk about, man. How you doing, dog? How you feel?
Hey, Book, I'm doing great. You know, I actually saw a picture of you the other day, and I wanted to ask you about it. You're the 5-time champ. Everybody knows that. But when you became the 6-time world champion, were you like a little bit upset by that? Because I saw a picture where you were doing this, like in the photo, right? And I love you, but this isn't as cool as this.
Just doesn't look cool. Yeah,
this is cool.
That's why I really never acknowledged 6.
Yeah, like were you like kind of like, man, this kind of kills my gimmick here?
I wouldn't like it kills, but give me more. Give me more.
Give me the 10.
Exactly.
Then I can do the 10.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm serious, man. No, it ain't a bad thing. But it did kind of like, it would have thrown the flavor off just a little bit. That's why I still continue to talk about being the 5-time WCW champion, which that is still intact. Yeah.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That is an accurate description. Well, that's great. Look, we do have a lot going on, and we always encourage everybody to send us in your super chats. As they become available, we will read them online. We're going about an hour today, so you have us for the next hour. BT, where do you want to start? I mean, should we talk about how, I don't know, this Saturday, the reality of wrestling is live and in living color from the Booker T World Gym Arena. And I will say, Book, it's going to be kind of a different show.
Yeah.
I don't want to rub salt in the wounds or anything, but how do you feel going into this Saturday?
No, man, I got big plans. I don't want to let anything out of the hat or anything, out of the bag or anything. But I got big plans. Things may be different. But they're different even in the WWE right now. But but the show still goes on. I'm not. It was a song back in the day. I ain't worried about a thing, baby. That's me. That's me. All day long. You know what I mean? So Saturday night, I will be ready, man. You know what? I just found I lost it. My Ghost of Tsushima. So I'm back in the game, man. I'm back in the game. I'm killing people again. I'm killing people. So man, come Saturday night, Ain't nothing gonna change, man. We're gonna keep on rolling. My man, Gaspar Hernandez, as well as maybe a few other ripples, so to speak, may be seen on Saturday night. So just stay tuned.
Okay. Well, again, tickets are still available in limited quantities at realitywrestling.com.
You remember how the NWO used to just jump on everybody, even
Yeah.
announcers and commentators? Thinking about bringing that back.
I don't remember that.
Well, start remembering it.
All right. Well, I know what I'll be doing on Saturday. I'll be looking over my shoulder as opposed to the ring inside the competition. But we will get to everything, Book. I mean, look, it's a report right now. I don't think the company has confirmed it, but it seems as though it's the case. John Laurinaitis, you mentioned him earlier. Johnny Ace, the man who behind the Ace Crusher, right? That became the Stone Cold Stunner, has been quietly let go. A rumor has it from the company. I don't really want to talk so much about the reasons he's getting let go or anything like that. But if that is the last stand of John Laurinaitis in the WWE, I know that he had a big impact on your WWE career, if memory serves me correct.
Not just no, my career in general. WCW. Laurinaitis, I get it, dude, a whole lot of credit, man, for making me a much better performer. He came over from the New Japan Pro Wrestling back in the day, and in New Japan, for all the wrestlers over there, he was the finish guy. And then he came to WCW.
And what does that mean? What does that mean? He's the finish
well,
guy?
he used to help guys out with their finishes. You know what I mean, of the match.
So he was like the Pat Patterson.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay.
And he came to me when he came to WCW, and he wanted to work with me. And I was a guy who, man, I've been in the business, a decade plus by that time. And I was like, man, how can this guy help me? Call Booker T. I mean, what are you come on here? What are you going to do with this? And he came to me one day. He said, I want you to do this tonight. And it was 5 pages written out. And I was like, bro, I don't work like this, man. I can't do this. He said, I tell you what, just keep an open mind and just try it out. I said, man, I'm sorry, but I don't work like this. He goes, I tell you what, just look it over, and whatever you like, keep it in there. Whatever you don't like, throw it out. And I was like, give it here, man. He gave it to me. And it was 5 pages, but it was only a finish. And I was like, what the hell?
Wow. A 5-page finish.
Yeah. And
holy smokes.
I was like, man, no way I can do this. So I looked it over and I said, let me go out here and try some of it, see how it work out. This guy didn't know what the hell he's talking about. But I'm gonna appease him anyway. I'm gonna flatter him, you know what I mean? Make him feel good here for a moment. I went out and I did it, and it was so detailed. It was like some of the smallest little bitty things, stuff that I just never really thought about. And from that point on, every week I would come to work. I was looking for Johnny Ace, and I would say, what you got for me? What you got for me? What you got for me? And it was like that forever till he left. WCW closed down till we came to WWE. And then he started writing stuff for me again. And then I finally was like, bro, can you please just write that missile drop kick out? Just write it out, because he wanted to see it every night. You know what I mean? So, but now, man, I appreciate it. But now he was very, very instrumental in my career and making me challenge myself to think a whole lot more and to be better. So, yeah, man, this is a sad day for me. I'm sad to see Laurinaitis step down. I really am, if that's the case.
Yeah, definitely. Just due to the impact that he's had on you personally and professionally, I'm sure. Again, we don't know. It's still a report that he's out, but here's the thing: when they hire somebody else with your same job title, you're probably not there anymore. You know what I mean?
That normally means something. You know what I mean?
It's normally not good. You know what I mean? It's like, you show up to work, you're like, wait a minute, I'm
Wait,
the assistant to the traveling secretary.
well, you was, but things have changed now, and that
Oh
job
man.
has been refilled. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We're
yeah,
going a different direction.
yeah.
And is it up, down, or sideways? Well, it's whatever direction is away from
Look,
you.
man,
That's a different
Laurinaitis
direction.
been in that position in a long time. He know the terms. Right now we ain't got nothing for you.
Best of luck on your future endeavors.
Oh man, I'm just playing, man. That's my
I
ace.
know. We're having fun.
That's my ace. That's my ace. Johnny Ace, man. Again, man, I'm sure he's gonna be okay. And I'm just publicly, I want to say, man, I'm gonna miss Laurinaitis. He was a really, really good friend of mine for a long time.
This it doesn't really tie in, but I don't know why I just thought of this story. You know who Larry David is? He was co-creator of
Yeah,
Seinfeld.
yeah,
He's in
yeah,
Curb
yeah.
Enthusiasm.
He got the ball head. And,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He was a writer on Saturday Night Live at first, right? That's what he did. And he never got any sketches on the air. I think the only time he ever got anything on the air was like 1:45 or 5 to 1 in the morning, I think is when he got his sketch on the air. And so he was so frustrated, he walked up to Dick Ebersol, who was running Saturday Night Live at the time, and he says, "Your show sucks. This job sucks. I quit. I'm never going to write for this terrible show ever again," right? So he quits on the spot and he starts walking home in New York. And he said, on the walk home, I started thinking about all the money that I had just given up. That was a year of rent. And I don't know where my next check's going to come from. And his real life neighbor's name was Kramer. And Kramer said, how about you just go into work Monday morning like it never happened? Like just pretend like nothing ever happened. And then so Larry goes, that's a great idea. So he goes, I went into work Monday morning. Nobody said a word to me. I saw Dick in the elevator. He said, good morning. He said, I just kept on going like it never happened.
Wow.
And I thought, what a great idea. Go back to work like it never happened.
Hey, man, I don't think that'll work out. Hey, guys, you're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around. We'll be back in a minute.
Wrestling is also brought to you by one of our major sponsors, Jerome Karam and Karam Investments for the Mainland City Center. Mainland City Center features 750,000 square feet of commercial property where you can eat, you can have fun, you can be entertained for the whole family. Mainland City Center is a Galveston County family entertainment and lifestyle destination for the whole family to enjoy. Mainland City Center, lifestyle, fun, entertainment, family. You can visit them online at mainlandcitycenter.com. That's mainlandcitycenter.com. Paid monetary spokesperson for Walker, Texas lawyer.
Hall of Famer Booker T here, and I've been crushing opponents in the ring for over 20 years. But Walker, Texas lawyer, been crushing insurance companies in the courtroom for over 30. If you're injured, call Walker, and he'll crush the insurance company for you. Now, can you dig that? Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys, right here on ESPN 97.5, just chopping it up, talking about the world of sports and entertainment. It's been a big shakeup here over this last few days, man, and we got to talk about it. What we want to start it, Brad? What we going to start it?
Look, let's talk about Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross is back.
Scarlett. Let's talk about Scarlett.
Let's talk about Scarlett. That might be the better
Oh, you want to start it, man. You want to start with Scarlett, man. Scarlett's back, and Karrion is back as well.
He's there too. Hey, man. Look, we know we'll make the rating rise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
We know what to make the rating rise. They came back on Friday night on SmackDown again. This was Vince McMahon had many great ideas in his life. And I mean this sincerely. One of the great geniuses in the industry. Sometimes he takes swings and misses, right? And a lot of times he wanted to put his own spin on things. Karrion Kross is one of those guys. He came up to the main roster. They took Scarlett away from him. They beat him on his first night, and they put him in an S&M gladiator outfit. He was then released, I think, a month later, right? Now he's back. with Scarlett, the full package. I think
Hair,
like he was
with hair.
with hair. And he's challenging. It looks like he's inserting himself at least in the Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre feud.
Yeah,
He's top guy in the first night. What do you think about Karrion Kross coming back?
I'm glad that he's back. I'm glad the way they inserted him back immediately by putting the spotlight on him, just like that, and saying, "Hey, we're gonna put you in a position, more importantly than anything, to come up. All you got to do is just go out and deliver. It's gonna be up to him now. Once he finally, gets that match with Drew or Roman. I think Karrion Kross is a talent. I really do, and I think bringing him back was a smart idea. Let's just say that. You're not gonna find big guys like Karrion Kross in the business that can go out there and work these days too often. I'm just saying. So to have a guy like Karrion Kross on the roster is a big plus. I just want to see exactly how this thing play out. And that's the beauty of it right there for me. Wanting to see how this thing play out because I'm interested now. It's a buzz going right now. Just like with Kevin Owens and Ezekiel, watching Kevin Owens come out and just beat the hell out of Ezekiel. I like that. You know what I mean? Watching Edge hit the ring, you know what I mean? And there's chaos and mayhem. I like that. You know what I mean? So you could definitely feel a shift. And with a guy like Karrion Kross, that just, boom, just adds a little bit more spark to the flame. You know what I mean? For me, yeah, I like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he and look. Here's the thing, man. Sometimes that valet, right? That person who walks you to the ring can make or break your whole package, right? When you and your brother had Sister Sherry, it legitimized it, right? You've called her the legitimizer. It made Harlem Heat go to the next level. But I think about Macho Man Randy Savage. Would we still think about Macho the same without Miss Elizabeth, right? Miss Elizabeth added so much to that package. Was he great on his own? Yes. Was he better with her? Absolutely. And that's what I see with Karrion and Scarlett. I mean, even at they were at Ric Flair's last match. He worked Davey Boy Smith Jr., right? Harry Smith. And just the entrance with him and Scarlett. There was everybody was looking, right? For one reason or another, right? Everybody was looking at that whole entrance. And I think that really does a lot. And I passed him in the backstage hallway, and for the first time, I seen him in person. I was like, "This guy's a big dude. Like he's not a small guy. He's not a small guy. Like he's a good size individual." And I think that only helps. And you need somebody like that for Roman. And here's the other thing: with him coming back and being in that picture, I now see three in one night. I see three credible threats to Roman Reigns. I see Drew, I see Karrion, and Cody when he comes back. And 3 months ago, I didn't really see any.
Let's not forget about Brock.
Well, Brock's always a threat.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah. No, I mean, me personally, I like it, man. I like it a lot. I wasn't a fan, to see Karrion Kross leave WWE because I thought he would be a huge pickup for AEW. I don't know how that did not, come to fruition. Him, actually being a part of that crew over there. But I tell you what, I'm liking it, and I'm liking it a whole lot. Like you say, as far as a guy being in that picture, for the Universal Champion. I just say heavyweight title.
Heavyweight title.
Because he's a heavyweight. He's a big guy. I said the year of the heavyweight, the Bobby Lashley's of the world, the year of the heavyweight is back. I think, and especially I think with Triple H in that position, I think that's something that definitely making happen. But overall, man, I'm liking a whole lot. I was watching Finn Balor last night, and with the Judgment Day thing, and had a match with Rey Mysterio, and I don't know what it was, but I looked at Finn Balor different. I don't know what it was. I looked at him totally different than I had watched him before, the way I looked at him before. I don't know what it was, but Finn Balor gave me something last night that he hadn't given me, Monday night, that he hadn't given me perhaps ever.
It's all about presentation, right? I mean, we look at ECW Taz or the Sandman or even 911 or
Balls
any of those
Mahoney.
Balls Mahoney, up any of those guys, right? The Pit Bulls. The way that they were presented was key. You know, if you see Taz walk into a locker room, yeah, at face value, you're like, okay, well, who's that guy? You know, he's
Yeah.
nobody. But when you saw Taz walk in with the towel and human suplex machine, the presentation made it feel completely different. And I think that with Finn Balor, with Damian Priest, with any of those guys who are kind of in that camp, who are like the, kind of mid card, you see potential, but they never really got to that next level. It's all how you present them. And with this new focus from Triple H, I'm seeing guys put in better lights. Even a guy like Ciampa. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
I think Ciampa's always been a hell of a hand kind of guy,
yeah.
but I never, and this is just me being honest, I never saw anything higher than that. Right? I'm like, hey man, he can work. That's great. You need guys like that on the roster. Was he special to me in any way? And I'm just being honest. No. Have I seen something in him in the last month or so to make me think of him differently? Yeah. And all it is it's not me buying into the hype. It's the way he's presented.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he feels more important.
Yeah.
Him wearing the Harley race jacket on Monday. That was great. I loved how they did that. And so right now, for me, Triple H and the new regime, creatively speaking, at least, they're firing on all cylinders, man.
The match that he had with Bobby Lashley wasn't bad at all. Yeah,
man,
it wasn't bad at all. Took it to a total another level. So, yeah, man. I know people gonna say, "Oh, they're just jumping on the bandwagon or whatever," but I really feel like it has been a shift over these last couple of weeks, and it's been a shift for the good. And I think it's going to be a whole lot more of that. Seriously.
And I'll tell you this, and this is honestly, most wrestling shows I watch on the replay, right? Like I'll have it recorded. I'll go back and watch through it because I know we're going to talk about it on the show. I go scroll through it. Okay, that's a good match. And I watch it. But I never watch it live for the most part.
Yeah, yeah.
These last few Raws and SmackDowns, I've actually made it appointment television. And this is as a fan for 23, 24 years. This is the first time in at least 5 or 6 where I'm like, hey, babe, can you go, handle dinner? I gotta sit down and watch Raw. Can you do the dishes for me? Because I can't miss it. I don't know what's gonna happen. Well, who's in the car crash in the background with Kevin Owens? What's going on there? They're leaving me on cliffhangers.
Yeah.
I don't know what's happening. And it's like the days of our lives or General Hospital.
I swear, man. I swear to God. I said that same thing Monday. I said the same exact thing about the show. It's like a soap opera now, to where it's so much chaos happening. I don't really care about just the wrestling anymore. I just want to. The stories are capturing me, and I think that's what has been missing for so long. Just like the Liv Morgan thing, she came out and got booed at the building. You know what I mean? You wonder, where's all this hate coming from all of a sudden, so it instantly gives me something, to latch my teeth into, so for me, I must say, just like yourself, I've been able to sit and watch it and be entertained. Actually, Monday, they even mentioned Booker T in the Bobby Lashley match. You know what I mean? So I say keep doing that.
Every time you do, price goes up.
Hey man, price going up. But heck yeah, man. What a difference a day make.
It is crazy. I mean, just how, this might be like a rudimentary analogy or metaphor, but how like when you get a haircut, you feel completely different about yourself than you did going in. You're like, oh yeah, I look good now. Like that. Yeah. Or when you wash your car all of a sudden is the baddest thing on the block. This is almost like a car wash haircut kind of situation of at its core, it's the same set, it's the same cameras, it's the same directors, it's the same actors, right? But now we just got a little bit of haircut. We got a car wash. And all of a sudden it feels so much different. It feels so much better.
Yeah.
It's an interesting time to be a fan. Absolutely.
Hey, man, it definitely is. Stick around, guys. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Shoop! Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We're just chopping it up. And there again, thank you guys for hanging out, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams. But yeah, man, what should we go? Where should we go?
We have a bevy, if I can use an SAT word, a bevy of super chats to get to.
Let's get them started, man.
Let's get to our first one. This is from the baddest son. Little air horn for you. I'm gonna get the super chat back. I just got to add it on. Kid Cash was on Paul London's podcast and said that the incident between you and Batista happened over a chair and drawing money. How true is this? I know you don't like to go into detail about this.
No, that's a lie. Let me tell you something about Paul London and Rene Dupree's show. Those guys don't know what the hell they're talking about. All right. Every story that I've heard just about has some kind of inaccuracy in it. And I don't know why they will be telling a story about why Batista and I had any kind of problem with each other, any kind of altercation, because that's not a story for neither one of those. Like my brother would say, two fruit booties should be talking about. Okay.
I don't even know what that means, but was Kid Cash there at the time?
Now, I don't even know if Kid Cash was there, but I'm sure he doesn't know what it didn't have anything to do with what
he's saying.
What did he just say that?
He said it happened over a chair and drawing money.
I don't know what the chair and part got to do with it and drawing money, what that has to do with anything. But that's inaccurate. Let's just say that.
To say the very least, inaccurate from Renee and family. Jason Marone says, King Booker, I initially agreed that Reigns holding both world titles would be bad, but it is indeed has in part elevated the U.S. title on Raw, and stars like Sammy and Karen, a.k.a. Kevin Owens, still thriving. Brad's point was good or even perfect. Well, you know what? Let's just get a little slow clap going right there, Booker.
I'm not going to even sit here and disagree with, of the optics and the way it's making things look. Even for the Usos, it's been, it's helped a whole lot, for the long run. I think it's still something that's, perhaps, maybe thought about in the future, especially if things get back to the way it was, these guys are, like I say, working a whole hell of a lot. From that perspective, it might be wise to go back. But hey, I'm digging it. It's definitely something that's added a whole lot of flavor to the show.
Yeah. And I think that I've been reading. I've been reading reports that they might split those world titles up again, um, to have more than
Well,
one.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're going to split them up again. It's
But I hope they don't do it to the tag titles.
yeah, I think they're going to have to do it with both of them sooner or later. They're going to have to do it with both of them, just because we need more champions. Just from an optics perspective, especially from a Raw and SmackDown perspective. That's just my opinion.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see where they go with it. I do like that the U.S. titles felt elevated. I want them to do the same thing with the IC title because the U.S. title has an incredible legacy, and so does the Intercontinental Championship. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not that I'm like a belt snob by any stretch of the imagination. It is whatever it is. Make it look like however you want it to look like. I don't like that Intercontinental title, the way it looks.
Well, I don't like the belt. The way it looks. I think they might need to try to update it or something, upgrade it.
Put some color into it or something.
Exactly. But the Intercontinental Championship, man, is definitely that title in WWE that has always been that benchmark to let you know that you got a chip in the game. So hey, just put a little flavor on it.
Yeah, I think, and I remember for a while they took the IC title away. And I think was that a Bischoff call or something like that? Wouldn't surprise me. They took the six sides and TNA away. Bischoff, come on, man, you're killing me.
Yeah.
But the IC title definitely worthwhile. DJ 1491. I was watching that new Rivals on Sunday and was thinking, what does AEW have to do to reach the level WCW did in the 90s? Is that even possible?
Man,
It's a toughie.
AEW reaching the level of WCW was back in the 90s. I don't think they'll be able to reach that level because I don't think wrestling will be able to reach that level again. And if it does, it would definitely surprise me because at that time, wrestling was huge. It was just nuts. It was insane. But AEW definitely have a chance to create its own legacy, find itself in a position to where, we're talking about the WWE rivals right now. AEW can find themselves in that position if they do the right things. If not, it's just going to be a bunch of guys, that has fallen by the wayside, bruised, battered, and torn, hurt. Here are so many guys over there getting hurt on a daily, weekly basis. Storylines, I don't hear a whole lot about storylines and rivalries or anything like that, but they definitely have the money. They definitely have the resources. It's just a matter of, making everything work at one time. It's like playing golf. Sometimes, the driver's zone, everything else is not working. Sometimes your putter is working, driver's zone. Sometimes your fairway game is good, but your shipping game. So if you can get everything to work at the same time, I think they definitely can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question to answer. I mean, what do they have to do to reach the level? I mean, like you said, wrestling has to be on fire. They have to have tremendous box office, mainstream talent, more than they do already.
Yeah.
And they have to create a compelling television show that millions and millions of people want to watch and go see live. And they have to do it better than WWE.
Are they doing that now?
They're not doing it now. I mean, and the thing is this, is like there is talent in AEW. Everybody knows it. Is there the box office talent like they had with WCW had? No. Are there names people recognize? Yes. The Jerichos and the Stings of the world, right? The CM Punks, the Bryan Danielsons. Is that enough to get them to a WCW level? I don't know. I think that's an unfair comparison to AEW. That's unfair to AEW.
It really is. I mean, like I said, I don't think they'll get back to that level, but WWE is not at the level they was back at that time as well.
No.
Those guys was doing numbers 3 5s, 4s, 4 5. I mean, that's how crazy it was back then. I remember one show did like a 5. And I'm like, what the hell? You know what I mean? So it's totally different. And I don't think the two can be compared.
Yeah. And you're right. That's a great point. WWE isn't at the level it was back in the day. I don't know how, and maybe it's the way you can book it, or maybe it was just the energy of the time. But again, in WCW and definitely in WWF at the time, everybody felt important. Like I looked forward to a Road Dogg and a Gold Dust match as much as I look in a Val Venus, as much as I look forward to Mankind or The Undertaker. And I look forward to those matches as much as I look forward to Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold and The Rock. You know, I mean, to get that plurality of talent where everyone from top of the card on down is a can't miss match, that's a tough task to replicate. That is a tough task to replicate.
Nah, man, just star power was different, back then than it is now. A lot of guys getting into the business right now, a lot of them are fresh off the independent scene. The world, are not, as familiar with those guys as they were familiar with, those guys back in the day. Like, for instance, I started my career on ESPN from that was you feel me? That was like, no, what I'm saying is
I know I'm saying like that's how you start.
exactly, you know what I mean? So I was being seen, all over the world from the beginning, which
Incredible.
therefore I was working a 6-day-a-week job, and I get a trip to go to, say, for instance, Japan or to the Virgin Islands, and I'm like a star there, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, I'm still working a regular job back in the States. What are we talking about here? So just the visibility for someone like myself, I became a household name very, very early in my career, and it grew. So I grew with the fans, along that route. And a lot of these guys do not get a chance to, have that opportunity, these days, as well as working with, you say you need that top tier talent to be able to become top tier talent. You got to work with top tier talent, so it's a lot of discrepancy as far as guys being, one level to the next these days in this business. But we got to take a break, man. We got to take a break. You're in the Hall of Fame. Stick around.
One more seg.
We'll be back in a minute.
What's going on? It's WWE superstar Apollo Crews here. I just want to talk for a minute about what the Indies meant to me. Traveled up and down the road for a long time, and they meant so much to me. It was a huge part of getting me to where I am today, and that is a part of the WWE. I actually did some work with Booker in Houston, drove from Atlanta. Those drives, I feel like those drives that we take, 14-hour drives, those type of things develop some kind of character in you that you can't find anywhere else. The Indies mean a lot to me. Got to travel to Japan, Europe, UK, toured all over, and for me, it was just a huge part of helping me become the superstar that I am today. So I'm very grateful that I got to experience the Indies, and that's it for me.
What's up, this Booker T, two-time Hall of Famer. I know you're checking out The Shine, checking out The Gloss. I want to thank you guys for checking out Row on YouTube. Hey, don't forget to click and subscribe to check out all the latest content right here each and every week. Now, can you dig that, sucker? Can you dig it, sucker?
You're listening to the Hall of Fame. Here's Booker T and Brad Gilmore.
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. We just moseying along here inside the Hall of Fame. Dexter Lumis is back in the WWE. Another guy who was let go for budget cuts, whatnot. Dexter Lumis was a guy down there at NXT who was one of their top stars. I would say highly touted. Is back. I think that's going to be a great addition to what we got going on. And what's really, really cool now is seeing guys like a Dexter Lumis, like a Ciampa, be inserted in the mix and let these guys, pretty much get a piece of the action.
Yeah.
Because just say, for instance, you was talking about Ciampa a second ago, and Ciampa. Let's say that Ciampa. My wife keeps. She's like, his name not Ciampa, it's Ciampa. Yeah, Ciampa. I knew NXT. You remember what I said about Ciampa not too long ago? If you can recall.
I don't recall off the top. What did you say?
I said Ciampa is one of those guys that I could see him in NXT forever because he's like a player coach. He's a guy that's really really good, and a guy that could be mainstream in that NXT brand forever. I never really looked at Ciampa as a guy on the main roster, but now I do.
I agree. And you know what? To me, same with Dexter Loomis. I don't. I'm still not that I'm there already where I am with Ciampa, whatever. But maybe, you know, I do want to be careful. Like we have a plethora of talent on the main roster already, who I think there's some of them can get more light than others. So I don't want to bring in too many new faces without servicing the ones that we already have. I don't want the colors of Raw to turn to black and gold, if you understand what I'm saying. But I like fresh blood. I like making people who are already there feel more special.
No, what I like about it is not screwing with NXT 2.0 with bringing back in guys like a Ciampa, like a Dexter Loomis, to kind of like flip that thing all the way back to the black and gold all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so I say bringing. I think those guys had spent enough time in NXT to get the bump, to get to move up. A guy like Ciampa, there again, I was looking at Ciampa like a player coach, a guy who could, you know, stick around in NXT forever. Just never thought about him being on the main roster. And then I watched him have this match with Bobby Lashley on Monday, and I go, man, this guy fit in perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. It feels like a big deal. And you know what? I know people are like, why is he with the Miz? And maybe that we'll see how that plays out. It's called the rub.
It's got a rub because I'm gonna tell you right now, every time they bring one of these mainstream stars, you know, from pop culture reasons back, who do they put him in there with?
The Miz.
Put him in there with the Miz. Every correct. That's who they put him in there with. You know, because they know Miz can go out there and get the job done. Miz wasn't one of those guys like Rene Dupree crying back in the day, because JBL didn't want him to hang out in the locker room. Miz said, I'm going to figure this out. Miz said, I'm going to figure out how to be the top guy in this company. At the end of the day, I'm going to be making more money than JBL, Booker T, and all these guys at the end of the day. And this may be just a trial and tribulation that I have to go to, but I'm going to show you. That's what Miz did, unlike Rene Dupree. I just want to throw that out there.
It's the real boy there, the Miz. This is our last segment, so I want to get to this. Callie Toenail says, I say if the fans didn't turn on Liv Morgan, the response she got is the one she should have had at Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. She's just not on that level yet for me. Well, people are saying that she's winning by cheap means. Go ahead.
Look here. I mean, she didn't cheat or anything to win the match. I don't know why the fans turned on Liv Morgan.
I don't really get it either.
Did they turn on Liv because they feel like she's not there again, like you just said, good enough to be in the ring with Ronda Rousey? Well, a lot of the females, if you looked at it that way,
yeah,
would have a hard time with Ronda Rousey. Okay, we're trying to make this somewhat believable here. So the way she won, I could take that. It was the only way out.
I agree.
If you look at it, the only way out. I'm just wondering, why the hate on Liv Morgan? But I like it. I like it because it's gonna, put Liv in a position where she's not enough to sink or swim, baby. It's all about going out and shining, taking this moment and turning it into something. Oh man, Liv Morgan! Can you imagine Liv Morgan with a potty mouth? Oh my God, I can only imagine.
Calm down over there, Buck. Right? Just relax. All right. We're almost done with the show. I don't want you to have to take your blood pressure medicine.
I just saying, man.
We'll see where that goes. Well, I just want to make sure we get to all the super chats. Bad as Son says, I believe somebody watching asked about it, and Kid Cash said, you got the best of Batista. Okay, thank you for that clarification.
You know what? Real men don't talk about stuff like that happened in the locker room. I'm serious. I mean, I've talked about that story like once, but it was just because I was getting paid to do it. but real men don't go talk about stuff like that. And if I saw Batista today, I'm sure, and if Batista saw me today, we'll give each other a dap and say, "Hey, man, what's going on? Much love." I'm serious. I'm dead serious. At least I would.
But he says, "Book one question: are you all elite?"
Oh no. I mean, I like the guys that's all elite, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah, gotcha. I would like to see an Io Sky versus Asuka match.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, man, Io Sky, she definitely has something.
She's dope.
I mean, she got so much charisma. When she walk out of that curtain, it seemed like it's a big deal. Something big finna happen. So yeah, I like that. I like that. But I don't want to see two countrymen go against each other right now. Um, but then again, it could be money. It could be a whole lot of money.
It could be. I think that, leave them alone. Let them do their own things on the side. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
yeah.
I understand like why you say, "Oh, I want to put them two together." Like I get it, but
That's it. Yeah, I get
we're not
that
there
too.
yet.
It's not something I want to see just yet.
Yeah, me neither.
And people talk about Kyrie Sane coming back too. I hope she does, man. My son loved her, man. So yeah, hopefully she'll come back as well.
Raymond Alston says, "Do you think Velveteen Dream will ever get another shot in the WWE?"
No,
I
I
think
do
that's
not.
a hard no.
I think Velveteen Dream definitely. You always say you put yourself in a position, something can happen, and it can be bad, and sometimes you can never find your way back from it. And I think Velveteen Dream is going to be one of those guys that would have, just say for instance, had a hell of a career.
Yeah.
If and that's the end of that story.
There we go. Christian says, "God bless you guys. Booker T, God bless you, legend."
Thank you.
It's nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And it looks like we have one more here before we wrap up for the day. Kid says, "Would you ever train for MMA even without fighting?"
No, you can get hurt doing that. A lot of the guys that do MMA, they get hurt in training. It's not the actual fight most of the time. They get hurt in training. No, I would not be doing that. Right now, I'm working on my knee. Matter of fact, I was supposed to call the doctor today because I was supposed to be getting an MRI. I'm too damn scared to get the MRI. And you
What
talking about
happened? What's wrong?
you talking about training to fight, training MMA. My knee, man, my knee has been hurting for quite some time. And finally, I've convinced myself that I should see a doctor about it. I've been trying my best. I've been doing all kind of holistic therapies, and nothing seems to be working for it. And that last match I had, it was killing me that night too. But I just, fought my way through. I powered through it. But nah, man, I got to get this thing checked out, man. My knee is killing me. And it's an old injury. It's an old injury from when I first started wrestling. I was in the Global Wrestling Federation. I came off the top rope, knee drop, and bang, I tore my PCL, right? And doctor told me I had to have total reconstructive knee surgery. And I was at the beginning of my career in the Global Wrestling Federation, and I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." I would have had to be off at least a year before I started therapy to try to get myself back together. And I know if I would have did that, we would not be having this conversation. But we are having this conversation about this knee.
We're still talking about the knee, though.
We're talking about it. Yeah,
the career was what it was, but the knee is still hurt.
The knee is still there, man. It still hurts. So I'm gonna get it checked out. I got a cool doctor that was gracious enough to bring me in and take me in and look at me. And but like I said, the hard part for me is getting the MRI, actually having to sit in that machine for 20, 30 minutes, whatever. I'm so claustrophobic. It's the scariest part of the injury, the pain. I could take that. Taking that MRI. Good God, I hate that so much. It's the most stressful thing for me that I've ever had to partake in my life is getting an MRI. And I've had to have several throughout my wrestling career. And it's the worst part of my wrestling career.
Yeah, I haven't never had an MRI, but and I'm not even that claustrophobic, but that would bother me. I already know. I've seen it enough on television to know that would bother me. But hey, Book, I know we have to wrap up. We have a lot to talk about tomorrow on the show. So if you're watching right now, we have a lot to get to. A lot of AEW news is breaking all over the place. We got to talk about all kinds of great stuff, BT. But I want to remind the people, Reality Wrestling, again, is going down this Saturday. And Christian, with the last super chat of the day, says, "How did you create that magic word? Can you dig that?" I guess we'll answer that tomorrow. We'll leave him on a cliffhanger.
Yeah, right. It would definitely leave him on a cliffhanger. We got to get out of here, man. I want to thank all you guys, man, all you super chatters. all you guys in the chat in general for hanging out with Brad and myself, man, getting your champagne wishes, caviar dreams, man. Like Brad said, we'll be right back. Same place, same time. So make sure you tune in. But right now, Bradley, we appreciate you. We out.